I speak today not to the rulers of Tanzania, but to its youth, the sons and daughters who still carry truth in their hearts. I have watched your silence, your frustration, your dreams fading in the shadow of false victories. You are told that peace is obedience, that patriotism is silence, that loyalty means pretending not to see. But I tell you today, silence is not peace, it is surrender. When a system steals your future and calls it stability, it is not leadership, it is domination. They have taught you to celebrate numbers that mean nothing, results that reflect only fear, not faith. You know it in your bones. A country where truth must whisper is already under occupation. Tanzania's youth, your time has come. You are not the children of submission. You are the heirs of Nyereri's courage. I call on you to rise, not with violence, but with vision. To organize, to question, to dream without permission. The same fire that freed nations still burns within you. Do not let it die in silence. Rise before it is too late, because once the youth give up, a nation stops breathing. I have seen how easily power hides behind calmness. They say there is peace because the streets are quiet, but they never ask why the people no longer speak. I have walked among young Tanzanians who carry degrees, but not opportunities, who carry opinions, but not platforms. They tell me they love their country, yet their country does not love them back. It is a tragedy to be young and awake in a system that rewards blindness. Our enemies no longer need to colonize us with armies. They do it with despair. They convince you that nothing can change, that your leaders are chosen by destiny, that your voice is too small to matter, and many begin to believe it. That is how nations die, not from war, but from the slow erosion of belief. But I have also seen the other side. I have seen students gathering in small circles, whispering about justice. I have seen young farmers creating cooperatives without waiting for permission. I have seen soldiers who still remember their oath to the people, not to politicians. This is the beginning of the next struggle, the quiet awakening that spreads faster than fear. Tanzania's youth, you do not need to wait for the perfect moment. Every day you remain silent, someone else writes your future. I am not asking you to fight your brothers. I am asking you to fight the idea that you are powerless. Learn your history, read about your heroes, speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Africa does not belong to those who sit in palaces. It belongs to those who rise when everyone else bows. Stand up, organize, and build the Tanzania your ancestors dreamed of. The world will try to make you doubt yourselves. But remember this, no empire, no dictatorship, no regime can stop a generation that has decided to think for itself. They will never tell you that the greatest weapon is not the gun, but the lie. They have learned to rule, not by force, but by confusion. They drown you in speeches about unity while dividing you in silence. They show you progress on screens while you walk through poverty in your streets. They speak of development while signing contracts that sell your future. And when you ask questions, they call you an enemy of the state. I have seen this pattern across Africa. Those who control your information control your imagination. They make you believe that the powerful cannot be challenged, that corruption is part of culture, that poverty is destiny. That is the real colonization, not of land, but of the mind. Tanzanian youth, I am speaking to you because I believe you can break this chain. You must refuse to inherit fear. You must rebuild your courage like a craft, day by day. Begin with truth. Speak it in classrooms, in farms, in markets, in barracks. The more you speak it, the less power their lies will have. Do not wait for leaders to validate you. Leadership is not in titles, it is in action. When you help a neighbor, you lead. When you teach a child to think freely, you lead. When you expose deceit, you lead. Tanzania does not need more rulers. It needs more truth-tellers. They will call you rebels. They will call you dreamers. Let them. Every generation they ever changed Africa was first called foolish. Our ancestors fought with weapons because they had no choice. You must fight with knowledge because you do. Understand this. Every time you challenge a lie, you protect the continent. Every time you refuse to be silent, you extend freedom's breath a little longer. That is the real revolution, to rebuild African dignity from the inside out. One day, when the history of Tanzania is rewritten, it will not be the speeches of politicians that will matter. It will be the courage of ordinary young men and women who refuse to give up. And when that day comes, I want you to be able to say, I was there. I stood up. I spoke when it was dangerous to speak. When one African nation sleeps, the whole continent grows weaker. When one youth movement is silenced, every dream across Africa trembles. Tanzania's story is not isolated. It is a reflection of us all. The same hands that manipulate your elections write the contracts that steal our gold, our oil, and our dignity. The same voices that praise your so-called stability fund the instability of your neighbors. It is a single system, one that survives by dividing Africans and convincing us that our pain is not connected. I say to you, Tanzanian youth, your struggle is not only yours. When you rise for the student in Ghana who cannot afford books, for the farmer in Mali who loses his land to foreign companies, for the child in the Congo who digs minerals but never holds a smartphone. This is why I speak to you with urgency. The liberation of one country means nothing if the others remain in chains. Across Africa, I see
Lovely viewers, welcome to AMF4 TV. My name is Richard Che. I hope you are fine. Okay, we are talking about how African leaders has to be united by this an influential leader, Burkina Faso President Ibrahim Traoré. There is a video on social media, especially on our handles, that we have to share it to you for you people to comment on it, on how statements he has been making all these days. We'll keep on updating you on this issue, but don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more of this video as well as similar videos like this. Let's listen to whatever he said and on social media to see, and then also don't forget to comment when you watch this video. Kindly also not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this video for people to also watch and like us.
I see signs of renewal. I see young people questioning leaders who once ruled unchallenged. I see independent journalists refusing to read from foreign scripts. I see artists using their voices to awaken pride and awareness. These are small flames, but together they can light a revolution of consciousness. Our generation must finish what our ancestors began. They broke the physical chains. We must break the mental ones. We must stop measuring success by how close we stand to the West and start measuring it by how much we stand for each other. When one African leader dares to speak truth, he should not stand alone. When one people rise for dignity, the others must echo their cry. Tanzania has the power to ignite this new chapter. You are a nation born from unity, built by the dream of Nyerere, who believed that true independence means shared prosperity. The youth of Tanzania can restore that dream. The world expects Africa to beg, but we will teach it to listen. So let your awakening be the spark that spreads. Let every school, every market, every soldier, every mother feel that a new wind is coming. Because the day the youth of Africa unite in purpose, no government, no empire, no power on earth will be able to silence us again. Awakening is not enough if it does not lead to action. Every generation that awakens must decide what to do with its awareness. Tanzania's youth, you have the numbers, the energy, and the intelligence to reshape your future. What you lack is unity of purpose. That is what your enemies fear most. Not your anger, but your coordination. They can silence individuals, but they cannot silence an organized people. Begin by building circles of trust. In every neighborhood, Create spaces where truth can be shared safely, not for gossip, but for vision. Discuss how to improve your schools, your markets, your local governance. Choose integrity over applause. If you build from the ground up, even the highest tower of corruption will one day fall. Do not wait for politicians to approve your dreams. Build cooperatives, start local industries, plant your own food, and support one another. Real power grows quietly through productivity and cooperation. Every job you create, every piece of land you reclaim, every mind you liberate weakens the chains of dependency. Use technology, but do not let technology use you. Use it to educate, to connect, to expose injustice, to amplify your voice. But never trade your freedom for convenience. A phone in your hand is a weapon or a leash. You decide which. And remember, transformation begins with discipline. Freedom is not a gift, it is a responsibility. If corruption surrounds you, be the example that proves honesty is still possible. If cowardice dominates your generation, be the voice that shows courage still breathes. This is not a call for chaos. It is a call for consciousness. You cannot rebuild a nation through hatred, but you can through conviction. Tanzania's youth must learn that the greatest protest is progress itself. Build, organize, educate, create, and rise together. When the day comes that your oppressors look around and see you feeding yourselves, teaching yourselves, defending yourselves, and leading yourselves, they will realize the game is over. No power can enslave a people who no longer depend on their oppressors. This is the Tanzania that must rise, one that does not ask permission to be free. And when that day arrives, history will not remember the loud voices of the corrupt, but the quiet builders who refuse to bow. There comes a moment in every nation's life when silence becomes betrayal. Tanzania has reached that moment. Your ancestors dreamed of freedom, not of submission. They dreamed of a nation guided by truth, not by fear. You cannot honor their struggle by bowing your heads to those who sold their souls for comfort. The time has come to rise, not with anger, but with clarity. Tanzania's youth, you are standing at the border between history and destiny. Behind you lies everything that has been stolen. Your resources, your pride, your vote, your voice. Ahead of you lies the Africa your ancestors died for, an Africa that governs itself with justice, protects its children, and writes its own story. You are the bridge between what was and what must be. Do not break under the weight of fear. Stand firm under the strength of truth. The world is watching. Some are waiting for you to fail. Others are praying for you to lead. Show them that Africa's youth cannot be silenced by comfort or control. Let your courage be the message. Let your discipline be the movement. Remember, the real revolution is not only in the streets. It is in the heart. It is when you decide that no one will think for you again. It is when you look in the mirror and see not a victim, but a guardian of Africa's future. I do not speak to you as a president. I speak as a soldier of this continent, a son of Africa who believes that our time has come. We owe it to our children to build nations that no longer fear truth. Tanzania, you have slept long enough. The dawn is calling your name. Rise before it is too late, and when you do, know this: Africa rises with you.
Lovely viewers, welcome to AMF4 TV. My name is Richard Che. I hope you are fine. Okay, we are talking about how African leaders has to be united by this an influential leader, Burkina Faso President Ibrahim Traoré. There is a video on social media, especially on our handles, that we have to share it to you for you people to comment on it, on how statements he has been making all these days. We'll keep on updating you on this issue, but don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more of this video as well as similar videos like this. Let's listen to whatever he said and on social media to see, and then also don't forget to comment when you watch this video. Kindly also not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this video for people to also watch and like as well.